This bike might look like it's here just for the retro vibes, but underneath it's quietly packing some proper modern Ducati tech. In short, it's got that old school swagger with some tricks up its sleeve. So I thought I'd spend some time on it to see if it's as good on the road as it looks parked outside Starbucks. A bit of town riding, a few country lanes, maybe a cheeky spot of lunch, nothing too serious. Because let's be frank, bikes like this are not about lap times or speed, they're about how they make you feel. Straight away, it's got that feeling that you want from a scrambler. Light, agile, there's a super lightweight clutch. You can tell as soon as you get on this bike, you're just going to have fun. It's absolutely perfect for exploring back lanes like this, but when the tarmac runs out, as long as there's nothing too gnarly, you can keep exploring. It does, after all, have Scrambler in the name. Of course, you wouldn't want to travel too far off-road, given the relatively small amount of suspension travel, and these Pirelli MT60 RS tyres may look a bit knobbly, but they're definitely more designed for the street than the brown stuff. But when you get an autumn day which is nice as this, why not just follow your nose and see where it takes you? What I really like is how easy it is to just ride this thing. It's got a bit of fizz when you want it, a decent amount of torque and a nice and linear power delivery. It's not an intimidating bike if you're a newer rider, but it can still get your pulse racing if you're a bit longer in the tooth. The Scrambler's definitely been improved and refined over the years. The first time I rode one was the old original, weirdly named Ducati Scrambler Cafe Racer. It was a little bit rough around the edges, I felt. Gearbox was clunky, and it was the bike that I could just never find neutral in, no matter how hard I tried. Apparently it was part of the bike's character, but thankfully since those days this platform has grown and grown, and Ducati have worked on it, and I think they've now found a really nice mix between a modern bike but still getting that old bike feel. It feels almost sometimes like a big single. Yeah, of course you get some vibes, but honestly it really does add character. It rounds off those potentially sharp clinical corners that modern bikes can have, and I like that about it. It is, I think, one of the most authentic feeling retros, due largely to that buzz. It's a charming thing. It's one of those bikes where you don't really worry about the spec sheet numbers. You don't have to know what the headline horsepower figure is. It's got enough. That power delivery is nice and smooth, and it's quite linear. Yeah, it hasn't got masses of torque, but there's enough to pull you through. It's lively. Once you get up into the revs, it really does want to play. I don't want you to think that I'm talking about feel and emotion to make up for the lack of horsepower, because that's not the case. This bike is a lot of fun. These big wide bars make it really easy to control. The engine is eager, and when you get up past 5, it absolutely sings. So there is that side to it if you want it. But for me, it's just an incredible little machine to get out and do this and explore. And obviously I know that you can do that on lots of bikes, but this looks the part as well, and that might be important to some people. You know, you could commute on this, you could go touring on it. If you want to go and do the DGR and dress very dapper, this bike is perfect for that. If you want to park outside Starbucks and pose, it's perfect for that. It's just a good all-round fun bike that looks nice and goes well. And sometimes that's all you want from a bike. Let's just get off and give you a look around it. I love the paint scheme, that black and gold with a couple of silver accents. Really nice. And I like that they've resisted going down the route of putting gold forks on it as well. Black forks look so much better. You've got that nice narrow tucked in headlight, the offset clock, nicely sculpted seat with the indicators built into that, the number boards. So it's a fantastic looking thing. Just a single disc. I've never felt that it needs any more than that on there. It's just a very nice thing. Yeah, of course, you've got to pay for it. But, you know, we can have that discussion at the end of the video. The Termi exhaust that comes with standard sounds nice, gives it that little bit of rasp. It's not a full system, but as I say, it does come on as standard, so, you know, Ducati have to meet those emission rules. So it's got that big collector box and cat on there. Or if you wanted a little bit more volume, there are options out there for you. But actually, more recently, I prefer to ride a quiet bike and keep under the radar. The less attention you can draw it to yourself, possibly the better. The ride quality is pretty decent as well on this. Obviously it's not adjustable, like you can put preload in the rear shock, but outside of that you've got no adjusters on what it does. But Ducati seem to have pitched it quite right. It soaks up the lumpy bumpy roads like this, but it's not wallowy and soft if you decide you want to push on a little bit in smoother tarmac. Straight out of the box, no problems at all. As I mentioned earlier, this bike is not all about riding at full throttle, despite the name. What this is about is buzzing around the countryside at sensible speeds, grinning like an idiot. It's light, it's flickable, it's fun, and it's got the looks of a Hollywood icon to match that. So are there any things that put a fly in the ointment for that experience? And I'll be honest, not really, no. The size of the bike could be one thing. It's quite a diminutive thing. I often felt like I was a circus monkey riding around on one of those little tiny bicycles. But when I caught a glimpse of myself in shop windows, which is something you will do on this bike, you will look at your reflection, it didn't look too bad. One of the good things about that size is it's really manageable. The low seat height is good, so if you're shorter of leg or smaller of build, it's a really easy, manageable bike to live with. And out on the road, you don't notice it at all. You've got those nice big wide bars, the foot pegs are in a decent position. I never felt my legs were cramped. The other thing, of course, that some people are going to bring up in the comments is the price, and that's fair enough. You know, we've got to look at value for bikes, but hey, determine that value is very much what you get out of it. And I'll be honest, I get a little bit bored of discussing the pricing of Ducati bikes compared to their competitors. There is obviously a bit of a premium to the brand, but it is a premium brand. The bikes are put together nicely. They're a relatively low production run company. I'm not defending Ducati at all. We all know there is a premium on their price, but if their bikes float your boat and you're willing to make that investment, what's the problem? Don't take this the wrong way, but there are always people in the comment sections complaining about a bike that they're never going to buy anyway. The Scrambler Full Throttle hits a really good balance between retro and modern, and honestly, I think it does that element better than most. For me, it's more of an emotional thing than being spec sheet driven, and to be honest, isn't that what motorcycling is all about?